What's up, you guys? Welcome to Books, Beauty, and Stuff. This is my new Books, Beauty, and Stuff Awards for 15. Yeah! Okay, so anyway, I'm this year, instead of doing like the top 25 or my favorite 25 books, I decided to separate them in categories because there's so many books out there. But I decided to do it in separate categories because it's like, okay, instead of just saying why do you like saying the top 25, I'm gonna say why I like them, why I put them in these categories and stuff like that. This category is called social justice. And real quick on my eyes, I have actually mixed two eyeshadows from MAC called Fig One and Carbon, which is purple and black. I was in a purple and black mood today, as you guys see. Under my lower lash line, I put on Prunella. In my inner rim, I put on Feline with Prunella as well too. On my cheeks, I have Burnt Pepper and Swedish Cocoa. And on my lips, I had on Viva Glam 5, but you know what? My lips starting to stick right now, so I'm just going to put on some Bliss Sticks on top of this. There we go. And there we go. Okay, so social issues. The first book I want to talk about is Uppity by my girl, Jannelle Moore. Uppity basically talks about prejudices in the media, especially as a black woman. And Kenya was the type that kicked ass and took no prisoners. She checked everybody. She checked them when they were wrong. She checked them on facts, especially when they sit up there and are negative towards blacks in the media. They're prejudiced towards blacks because of their own prejudices. And I was here for it. And the reason I say this book definitely was appropriate for the for 2015, especially the fact that we're still dealing with a lot of hatred and racial injustice in this country, such as Tamir Rice, Mike Brown, Kendra Chapman, Sandra Bland. So many of us, so many youth of color are getting gunned down. And on top of that, in the media, they always say, "Oh, let's go back to why they were gunned down." They always take a look back at the negativity that we deal with, and I'm like, the negative stuff, like somebody getting suspension or their family was on drugs. Just they always take a look back on it, and I think this book is very appropriate, and I think it's very appropriate age wise. The only few issues I had with the book was definitely the only thing I had issues on with the book is probably a bit of the editing. But otherwise, this was an excellent story. Very fast paced. Very real and very raw. And this is the first story I read from the author. And this won't be the last one. So this is definitely why this is on social justice. And on top of that, not only that, it shows that African Americans, we can make it. It's hard out here. We have to fight two battles in order for us to win. But we can definitely do it. And this is definitely a positive book for that. The next book I want to talk about is by my girl, Victoria Christopher Murray, called Stand Your Ground. Now, this has a lot, this kind of brought a little bit of the Trayvon Martin case back to me. Why this book stand out to me, because it explain more about Stand Your Ground law. It definitely explain more about when, especially when we know it's a victim, that especially when it's African American, it will go back. Some facts in the book, like some facts like Janice having an affair on her husband and things like that, it comes in the later on in the story why this was so important to mention. Not only that, it didn't just talk about the victim side, which was Marquise, their family side. It didn't just talk about his side. It talked about their side, which is Janice's side. It talks about Meredith's side. And it definitely talks about the shooter, which is Wyatt's side too. This book brought so many emotions out of me, and this is probably my second book by Victoria Christopher Murray. And this is definitely not my last one. And I guess she calls it, I forgot the name she phrases she said it, because me and her talked about this. I think it's social commentary, but if I'm wrong, correct me if I'm wrong, I'm probably paraphrasing, but I feel that we do definitely need this one, especially that a lot of social medias are talking about And I definitely feel this is a lot of book. And it also gives importance why we should be out there researching the laws, voting, you know, and definitely gets. This was an excellent book for 2015. This was very emotional for me because, especially the funeral scene, it was just so much that the book brought out of me. So this definitely got a social justice award for 2015. And if you guys have not seen my review on it, I'm gonna link the link bar below for that one. I'm also gonna link the link bar below for Uppity as well too. Now, speaking of voting, I definitely got to tell you about my next book by my girl ReShonda Tate Billingsley called Mommas Boy. Now, Mommas Boy is definitely about a young man who gets caught up in the wrong place in the wrong time. Now, you may think this is like an open and shut book, but honey, if you don't know ReShonda Tate Billingsley, you better get on my girl right now because she mixes a lot of Christian fiction. Well, originally she's like a Christian fiction writer or inspirational writer, but she mixes a lot of drama and truth into it, honey. Now, this particular book, baby, Jamal Jones, excuse me, let me check the bad's name for this one. I'm sorry. I was right, Jamal Jones. He got caught up in the wrong place in the wrong time. Now, his mom, Gloria Jones, is willing to protect him. Unlike his father, Elton. That jerk. Ooh, I'm trying not to cuss in this review. But he is so quick to turn him over to the police. Now, y'all gotta understand, this is the South right here. And you know how they like to make black men extinct. So, turn him over to police ain't guilty because especially when you shot a white cop, especially in a southern city, a small southern city, you already know what they're going to do. But on top of that, it deals with a lot of subjects that we still hide under the rug and stuff that we still need to talk about, such as voting, getting on juries, registering to vote. And ReShonda brought a lot of this in this book, and it was so understanding what happened. And then on top of that, it was a lot of secrets and lies and stuff that's covered up. Because Kate Christensen, she was so determined to bring this down, but it was a lot of pain and hurt she dealt with as well too. Let me tell you, honey, tea is spilled, drama is unfolded, and this definitely made one of my social justice books because it talks about the law. It talks about why the importance of voting and being on juries and things like that. And I was here for every bit of this book. Like Victoria Christopher Murray's book, it definitely teaches a powerful lesson about it just teaches a powerful lesson about voting, knowing the laws, things like that. And I'm gonna tell you, their collaboration on the Jasmine and Rachel series is unrelated, but I'm gonna say it anyways. My video, my way. Their fourth book, their last book, A Blessing and a Curse, is coming out next month, so I'm gonna link that link bar below as well. And I'm also gonna link the link bar for the reviews as well. All the books I've already reviewed, so you definitely have a link bar below as well too to check them out. And yes. The final book I'm going to talk about is called Eyes of the Beholder by my girl Elissa Gabrielle. Now, this definitely talks about PTSD, post-traumatic syndrome disorder. What makes me so sad about this book, I felt is a good need, because I think this is a subject that has to be tackled. The way we treat our veterans in this country. They go off the wall, fight, and come back home to nothing. But Jerusalem unfortunately fit in that category. I like this book overall because it does talk about a lot about PTSD syndrome, and especially it does with the foster care system, how especially foster kids of color are messed up a lot, especially how veterans of color are messed up a lot with being discriminated against. But his nurse Jill was not letting it go without a fight, honey. And I overall like the romance. I overall like the musical aspects of it. But it definitely talks about a powerful lesson too on how to fight. Not fight, but definitely get what's deserved to you. Especially if you go off to a country to fight over some war, which was based on some bullshit lie. Ooh, excuse me for cussing. On some BS lies. yeah, you definitely need to come back and get your coins. That's what I agree. Not only on top of that, with the mental health issues in this country, especially with the gun laws and stuff going on, this is a definitely must-need book for you guys to read. Not only that, it's so, with mental health, especially in the African American community, it is always tucked under the rug. It's always tucked under the rug. It's like a whole, oh, shh, we don't talk about that. I'm so sick of it. And if we do not start talking about these things, they're going to get worse and worse and worse before it just implodes. So I think this book is definitely won the Social Justice Award, another award for my books, speaking and stuff. I think all these books are so deserving of it, and that's why all 4 of them got elected into this category. Anyway, thank you guys for checking out my first part of my Books, Beauty, and Stuff Awards. Thank you guys for just checking me out and just giving a brother a chance. Anyway, I will talk to you guys later, and thank you for watching now. Bye.